My name's Eli Thompson, 42, happily divorced, living the suburban dream. Saturdays are sacred to me. Just me, my coffee, some Led Zeppelin in the background, and the satisfying roar of my slightly wheezy but loyal old lawn mower. It's my therapy, and the only battle I care to fight is with the jungle that is my front lawn. Except that particular Saturday was different. I was halfway through the yard, sun on my back, feeling good, until I heard it. That sound. The dreaded, high-pitched tone from just over the hedge. I peered over, and, lo and behold, there she was. Marjorie Langston, better known in our neighborhood as Major Marge, or simply, the Karen. The kind of person who thinks autumn leaves are a personal insult and who once threatened to call animal control on a squirrel. She was standing there in a stiff floral dress, pursing her lips like she had just tasted sour milk. Her arms crossed tightly, that all too familiar expression of weaponized entitlement on full display. "Excuse me," she began, sugar-coated venom dripping from each word. "I couldn't help but notice you have a lawn mower." I paused, straightened up, sweat on my brow, and nodded. Guilty as charged. She didn't smile. "Well, mine has decided to quit on me. I require the use of yours. I'll give you $1. I actually coughed, choked on nothing but air. $1. I repeated, blinking. "Ms. Langston, with all due respect, this mower's practically a family heirloom. It's held together by hope and duct tape, and it's got character. Also, new ones are like $120. She scowled, her lips thinning to a thread. "Don't be ridiculous. It's just grass. I'm doing you a favor by offering anything at all. I require it immediately." I smiled, gave a small wave, and turned back to my mowing. That was my first mistake. 10 minutes later, I'm almost done, humming along to some AC/DC, when I spot two men walking down the sidewalk. A tall guy pushing a stroller with a toddler and his friend beside him, both minding their own business, soaking in the beautiful Saturday sun. Cue the mosquito buzz of entitlement. Major Marge swooped in, positioning herself like some gatekeeper to the entire block. She stepped right into their path. "Excuse me," she barked, voice dialed to 11. "What are you doing here? This is a private community. Are you lost?" The men stopped, blinking in confusion. The taller one, the one with the stroller, spoke first. "Calm, polite. We're just walking, ma'am. We live a few blocks over. Beautiful day out." Marge's face contorted. "I don't believe you. I've never seen you before. And you shouldn't be around children, people like you." She then jabbed a finger toward my yard. "Probably here to steal that man's lawn mower. I bet you're in cahoots with him." I killed the engine. My jaw hung open. The second man, a little shorter, neatly trimmed beard, pulled out his phone. "Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to stop harassing us. We have every right to be here." "Harassing you?" she screeched. "I'm protecting the neighborhood. I'm calling the police. Just you wait." And just like that, she whipped out her phone, pacing like a mad general, shouting into the receiver. I could hear her from yards away. "Yes, officer, I need immediate assistance. There are suspicious individuals, black men, walking through our neighborhood. One has a child. I believe they're plotting a theft. And that neighbor, Eli Thompson, he's refusing to sell me his lawn mower for $1. I couldn't believe it. My hands shook. This was spiraling fast. I called out, trying to inject sanity into the chaos. "Hey, I'm Eli. I live here. She's always like this. Don't mind her." They nodded, appreciation in their eyes, but the damage was done. Their faces were tense, humiliated, and rightly so. Within minutes, a patrol car pulled up, sirens wailing. And that's when this story took the most delicious turn. The officer stepped out. Young, calm, and black. Officer Nia Carter. She walked over, listened silently to Marge's nonsensical rant. Her expression never changed. Then she turned to the two men. "Gentlemen, may I see some ID?" They complied, no resistance. She glanced at their licenses, nodded, then looked back at Marge. "Ma'am," she said coolly, "these men are not breaking any laws. They live nearby. They're taking a walk with a child. In fact, you may be the one causing a disturbance." Marge's jaw dropped. But they're suspicious. And they were probably going to steal Eli's lawn mower. He wouldn't even sell it to me. Officer Carter raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, you called in a false report. Based on race. That's a crime, and it qualifies as a hate incident under city code." I didn't mean to. "Ma'am, Place your hands behind your back. And just like that, Major Marge, the self-appointed sheriff of Maplewood Lane, was handcuffed on the curb. I'm not proud of how much joy it brought me, but I won't lie. It was glorious. As Officer Carter led her to the squad car, she turned to me and the two men. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, gentlemen. Sir, she nodded to me. Thank you for stepping in. The two men, who I later learned were named Jordan and Andre, thanked me again. Jordan's toddler waved goodbye to the police car. I waved back, still stunned. The aftermath? The neighborhood exploded with gossip. Some people were shocked. Others were way too pleased. And a few? Not surprised at all. Me? I was suddenly the unofficial local hero. People stopped me at the gas station. Someone bought me a coffee. All because I didn't sell my lawn mower for $1. A few days later, Jordan and Andre showed up at my door. They brought a 6-pack of local craft beer and a brand new mower blade. For your troubles, Jordan grinned. And for putting up with that storm of a woman. As for Marge, haven't seen her since. Rumor is she's facing community service, ironically, in a park frequented by families from those blocks over. Maybe it'll be good for her. Maybe not. Who knows? But I still haven't sold that lawn mower. And I don't plan to. It's a little rustier now. A little louder. But it works. And it reminds me, sometimes, saying no to $1 can be the biggest yes to standing up for what's right. So Reddit, AITA for not selling my lawn mower and accidentally getting a Karen arrested? I don't think so. But hey, if you need to borrow one, mine's available. Just, maybe don't call the cops on anyone, okay? A week after the whole lawn mower, Karen, police debacle, I started noticing little changes around the neighborhood. First, there was a kind of hush, the kind that settles in when the loudest person finally loses their megaphone. You don't realize how peaceful things can be until the woman who once called City Hall because a Halloween decoration threatened property values is suddenly not in your HOA group chat. Then came the questions. Not from adults. From kids. A little girl down the street, Mia, maybe 8 years old, rode her bike past my house and stopped. Mr. Eli? Yeah, kiddo. Did you really stop that lady from being mean to the stroller baby? I chuckled. I guess you could say that. She gave me a thumbs up and rode off like she had just solved world peace. I think that moment meant more to me than the 6-pack. But the best part? A few days later, I got a knock at my door. It wasn't Jordan or Andre this time. It was Officer Carter. She was off duty, wearing jeans and a t-shirt that read coffee first, justice later. Mr. Thompson, she smiled. You got a minute? Sure. Want a beer? Not while I'm wearing a badge in my back pocket. We sat on the porch, and she explained something I hadn't expected. Apparently, that incident wasn't Marjorie Langston's first time calling in false reports. There were files. A lot of files. And thanks to what happened that day, with me as a civilian witness, they were finally able to open a formal case. She wasn't just facing community service. She was also being evaluated for mandated bias counseling and had to attend a hearing for harassment and public disturbance. What she did, Carter said, isn't just annoying. It's dangerous. People get hurt because of these calls. But you stayed calm. That mattered. I didn't know what to say, really. I wasn't trying to make a statement. I was just trying to cut my grass in peace. Before she left, she handed me something. A laminated card. Neighborhood Bystander Resource Guide. On the back, her precinct, a list of legal contacts, and a hotline for reporting racial bias and harassment. You ever see something like that again, she said, you call us. Don't try to be a hero. Just be human. We shook hands. That night, I sat on my porch, lawnmower parked beside me like an old war buddy, and thought about how ridiculous and real everything had been. How a simple no to $1 opened up a truth the whole block had been tiptoeing around for years. And it didn't stop there. A few weeks later, Jordan and Andre invited me to a cookout. Their backyard was alive. Music, laughter, people from every corner of the neighborhood. I saw families I didn't even know lived here. At one point, Jordan raised a glass and called out, to Eli, the man with the mower and the spine. Everyone laughed. I turned red. Andre added, we gotta name that thing. The mower. It deserves a title. We settled on the equalizer. Kind of dramatic, but hey, it stuck. By summer's end, the dynamic on our street had changed. Not overnight, not perfectly, but there was more eye contact, more nods across lawns. The tight little lines between our side and their side blurred into one big, shared driveway of humanity. As for Marjorie Langston, word is she sold her house and moved in with her sister across town. The house has since been bought by a lovely couple with twin beagles and a neon pink garden flamingo. A peaceful kind of poetic justice. And the equalizer? Still runs like hell. Still kicks up dust. Still loud enough to drown out the nonsense. So if you ever drive through Maplewood Lane and hear AC/DC, smell fresh-cut grass, and see a rusty old lawn mower being pushed by a barefoot guy in cargo shorts, come say hi. I'll hand you a cold one. Just don't offer me $1 for it.